Yeah, I'm coming up the roof. Knocked one. I'm coming up to you. There you go. Hey guys, it's Lethal Air, and in today's video, as you can see, this is my creative map I've created myself, top of the screen. But let's get right into the video. Basically, I'm going to stand here on this orange bar, and to be very specific, and my purpose today is to help new keyboard mouse players, whether you're on console or PC, if you want the right sensitivities. So this is going to be sort of a raw, uncut video. We're still going to try to trim it down under 15 minutes. The best weapon to train with, in my opinion, is this infantry rifle, or if you want to take the TAC AR. By the way, down at the bottom of the very center of my map, I have all of the weapons. You can get any weapon. If you find anything I haven't put in the game, please let me know. But currently, everything is up to date. There are some vaulted weapons here, but just pick whatever weapons you want to train with. You're going to come up to this range and stand on the orange bar, right in the middle of the orange bar. First thing we're going to do is train your ADS sensitivity. I'm going to show you what you should be able to do with an ADS sensitivity and what is too much or too little. You need to be able to move from here to here with your ADS without running out of mousepad space. So from the very left of your mousepad at least to the very right of your mousepad, you need to be able to cover this distance while ADS'd. So instead of telling you exactly what DPI and stuff, whenever you get in game, make sure that you can kind of go along with this video, ADS, and move from left all the way to here to center, and then the same with the right. Put it at the very right side of your mouse pad, move it from the right to the left side, and make sure that you can at least cover this distance, because if you cannot, what you're going to do is you're going to be ADS spamming a lot, and that in and of itself can throw off your aim because you're dealing with two different sensitivities. So let's get to the next portion. The next up is your hip fire. So for your hip fire, you want to be able to move from right here on the left side of your mouse pad, complete left side, all the way to at least here without running out of mousepad space. So for your hip fire accuracy, make sure if you're on the right side, start right here in the center of this platform between the yellow bars, put it on the complete right side of your mousepad, and make sure that you can swipe all the way to here without running out of mousepad. This is very important because whenever you're building or doing 90s, you don't want to run out of mousepad space. You don't want to have a DPI that's so low that you just get flanked easily. So from left to right side of your mouse pad, you can easily swipe. I have an actual desk mouse mat, so for me, if I go to the very left side of my mouse mat, I can move much further because I have a bigger mouse mat. If you have a high sensitivity or low sensitivity, you can adjust anywhere within this margin. But if you're new, whatever sensitivity you have, do this training test. Stand right here on the orange bar, ADS right here. Make sure that you can start at the very left of your mouse pad and move it to here without running out of space. Make sure that you can start at the very right side of your mouse pad and move it leftward without running out of space and arrive at the center. Next up, we're going to talk about distance aiming. With whatever sensitivity that you have currently, how you've adjusted it, what you're going to do now is you're going to hip fire, or you're going to aim at each of these targets. Don't shoot, but aim at them. If you can quickly, as fast as possible, move to the target while you're hip firing, this is going to determine the next step that you take as far as adjusting your sensitivity. So right here, I'll probably do some screen zoom so you can see way out here. You can look at my reticule and you can see that I'm within, 80% accuracy of these targets while I'm hip firing. If you can move from target to target very easily without having jittery hands and shaking all over the place, here, just like this, 1 2 3 4 1 2 3 4 1 2 3 4. If you can move between targets while hip firing, if you can get close enough without having shaking hands, or if you're wrist aiming or arm aiming and your hands are shaking, then that means your sensitivity is too high. So what you're going to do, or what you're going to need to do in this situation, if your hands are shaking, if your wrist is shaking and feels unstable, lower your sensitivity. Lower it until you can move between these targets just with hip fire, but also within the margins of being able to hip fire aim right here from left side of your mouse pad all the way to the right here without running out of mouse pad space. So again, make sure that you can hip fire right here, aiming right at the middle of this with hip fire and moving from the left side of your mouse pad to the right without running out of mouse pad space, but also with a sensitivity low enough to be able to move between targets like this very smoothly, even the distance targets with decent amounts of accuracy. If you can move from left to right here, but your hand is still shaky here, and you lower your sensitivity so you can do better with hip firing at these distance targets, then a problem you might run into is if your mouse pad space is too small, you might not be able to move from left right here all the way to here. So what you'll need to do is either just suffer training to be able to aim at these targets or get a bigger mouse pad. Obviously, what I would recommend is getting a bigger mouse pad. If your mouse pad is too small where you can't aim here, hip fire from left side of your mouse pad all the way to the right without running out of space, and also aim hip fire at these targets very smoothly, then you're going to have a hard time. Next up, we're going to train our ADS sensitivity, standing right here in the same spot. If you can move, pick a cluster, because all these are in clusters of 4. See this cluster of 4, then this cluster of 4, this cluster of 4, so on and so forth. If you can ADS and move between these targets like this with some decent amount of accuracy without letting go of ADS. So make sure you hold ADS and you can move between these targets very easily. Also, make sure you can move between these targets very easily. Make sure that you stop on the target, the bullseye. Do it at every range without letting go of ADS. That way you get a comfortable sensitivity that's going to allow you to hit your shot. It's less about muscle memory and more about what you're visually seeing and how fast you can do it. Once you've done that, then go back to here, ADS, and drag it to here from left side of your mouse pad completely to the right without running out of space. So if you can have your ADS speed between here and here without running out of mouse pad space, but also have a low enough ADS speed for you to quickly swap between these targets without having your wrist shake or your hand become like stiff and just like clammy where you just can't aim and it's jittery. If you can do that, if you're on console and you don't have a PC to adjust your DPI, or if you don't have a mouse that you can adjust the DPI in, then what you're going to have to do is just lower your game sense numbers low enough. Right now I have 400 DPI on my mouse, so these are my sensitivities. However, if you have a higher DPI and you have a laser mouse, then there is a good possibility with 800 DPI you're gonna have a little bit of jitter. So that's pretty much gonna wrap up this video. I hope that it helped you in any way at all. If it did, let me know down in the comment section. But I don't want to be a person to tell you like, oh, use this sensitivity, use low or high. If you can do these things right here, if you can aim from the center here while ADS to here without running out of mouse pad, just one clean smooth swipe without resetting your mouse, and you can hip fire one smooth slide from left to right without running out of mouse pad space, while being able to hip fire the targets with the sensitivity you have, and while being able to ADS toggle between targets smoothly, you know, to your standard, whatever makes you feel comfortable. You don't want to aim like this where that's not good. Sometimes people that are really good, they do that, but even that, you know, being able to just smoothly land on it is kind of the best thing. Doing that, you know, I do this sometimes, it just depends, but if you can smoothly go between your targets like that without it jittering, and even make a line and trace through all of them, then you're good. That is your sensitivity. You can adjust it up or down, but if you enjoyed the video, let me know down in the comment section. This was not much of a gameplay thing, but definitely a hands-on tutorial. Try out your aim at my 5 HP tracking range, the 200 HP hop range, you can call it the hip hop range, whatever, and the 1-tap bullseye stationary range. I've made this course with a lot of thought in mind toward just training your aim. I train on this course about an hour a day, if not more. And as you see, I don't really miss. But we'll see you guys next time. If you're not following me on Mixer or Twitter, links will be down in the description. They're also at the bottom of this video, so check out those links. I definitely enjoy the feedback that I get from you guys down in the comments section. When a new tutorial drops, you don't want to miss it. Make sure you're subscribed to the channel. Make sure that you follow me on Mixer so you know when I'm streaming and we can talk one-on-one.